as you've seen in the videos previously, and what we're going to be showing you now and a little bit in the future, is we're working on clearing the build site. The trees that we're taking out, especially in this next video, are fairly large, but please understand that they are dying or dead trees, and they do need to come out, not only for clearing at the build site, but also for the health of surrounding trees, because a lot of the healthy trees or the good trees have been choked out by vines and a lot of the invasive species.
And we're only really clearing about 2 city lots. It's not a very big space that we've cleared out to put our house on. This is also a build site where the old farmhouse used to be. Some are very, very old trees, but like Nellie said, they're falling apart, and they're just in the way. Look at the baby dude.
Hi, baby. So they're falling apart, and they're, like you saw in the previous video, there's a lot of thorny trees, a lot where they're hollow inside, and just they're not good trees. So we're actually a year later when we're filming this, and this part, we have planted in the last year about 30 trees throughout the property. And I actually have a box that just came in today with about 10 more trees that I'll be planting because we want to get them in the fall. So we're going to be adding a lot more. So once we have the house done and we have cleared up more of the land around the house, we'll be adding more trees in there.
We have about 90 acres of woods here.
Yes.
And it's thick woods like what you see behind us. Stuff you can't even walk through.
Yeah.
And so taking out maybe a quarter acre or less is not really going to harm anything. Like I said, all the houses we've had in the past, we've planted a lot. Yeah. And we're going to plant a lot of trees here too.
I will. So, yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll plant a lot.
Just fair warning, because we know some people are sensitive to such things. Yeah. And I want you to know that we didn't take out as much as it may look like we have, and we've replanted
a lot.
That and more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's November 2nd. I'm getting ready to drop that big Catalpa. Oh, see if I don't hurt myself. Well, there's one big one down. That big one, I already dropped the big elm tree. I got one more big catalpa, one more big elm tree. Well, that's it for today. That would be my fuel filter. What a horrible place to put something like that. I can see it. But it's plastic. And got popped by a stick or something, I don't know. Not like I'm driving over any sticks or anything. So, I get that fixed now. That kills me for today and tomorrow, except we're cutting stuff down. Oh well. It's a beautiful day out here. It's a Sunday. It's supposed to be 68 or so today. And brought my daughter out here. This is my oldest. She's in 6th grade. I'm having her scrape the surface, push everything in there. She's kind of hung up on the stump right now. She's trying to figure it out. So I cut a lot of this stuff low because I wanted to be able to just go right over the top of it. Still digging up stumps. Back in this area, I got all those stumps dug up. This is where the barn's going to go. And fixed the tractor yesterday. Fixed the fuel pump on, or fuel filter was busted out in, if you remember, and I got that fixed. And today's task, all these trees I cut down last week that have been sitting here waiting for the tractor to be fixed can now be hauled out. So I've been cutting those up around the old house, and I'll be hauling those out today. And then Natalie and my youngest daughter will be out here a little bit later. They're getting some homework done right now. They'll be out here a little bit later, and I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. She's been planting some trees and stuff. So Sydney's 11. I've been letting her use the tractor so she gets used to it. It's been pretty good. She used it actually probably a year, 2 years ago maybe. I had her dig some holes for some trees for me. So she gets a kick out of that, and I think it's good that all kids get the opportunity to do these sorts of things so they grow up thinking they can do them. And I think too many kids these days grow up being told they can't do things, or that that's too hard. And most things in life are pretty darn simple if you only try. It's kind of like this whole project out here. Most people look at this and say, this is way too hard, I can't do that. How do I put a culvert again? How do I fix the tractor? How do I do all this stuff? Tell you what, YouTube is a wonderful asset. If you don't know how, you can pretty much look up a video of somebody doing it. So always try, never give up. But this is today's task. I gotta decide which trees are gonna stay. This one I believe is gonna shade the solar panels too much. One of these two will stay, and I've got one back over in there I'm gonna try and keep if I can get it down without a tree next to it without damaging it. So serious. They're digging up stumps now. I'm trying to. We're on to the second one. Not quite smooth yet. To give her some pointers here about getting under the stump. Not using the claw just yet. But she's doing a good job. She's having fun. She's learning. That's the whole point. It's November 16th. And it's about 56, 57 degrees out. So you can see I'm working on my road. We have to put in 1,500 foot of road, and luckily it's over the top of an existing farm road that came back through here. So I'm still putting a decent amount of base, some lateral rock down, some AB3, and I'll go over it with the finish coat after all the construction's done. Just running into a lot of water. The water out here just runs like crazy, and there's a lot of rock too, so what I can assume that all that water is soaking down from the watershed, hitting the rock, and then coming out where the rock opens up, so basically a spring. And if that's the case, which I'm pretty sure is true, our pond will never go dry. There's so much water. Last time we had a good rain was 3-4 weeks ago maybe. Got some small rains, nothing significant, and the water is still flowing through there at a pretty good pace. I did get my building permit the other day and taking my testing so I can put in our own septic system. That will save us probably $2 grand. I've got the equipment to do it, so it just makes sense. The test doesn't cost me anything, I just have to pass it. And I can put my septic system in. Also, I started getting to the old house. Drug some things out of there. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but we read an article about basically a buried garden where people would dig a hole and then basically put a greenhouse over the top. Because it's under the ground and insulated, they could have vegetables all year round, lettuces and things like that. Anything that fruits would need to have some sort of pollinator, so you can self-pollinate. Or I thought about just having one of the bees, just temporary bees set up in there for the winter, and then the bees would come out warm days. Of course, it'll always be warm in there, so it'd be out pretty much every day. They come out and do their pollinating. Don't know if that would work or not, but it's a thought. We do move. It is November 25th. Thanksgiving is in Monday. I think it's Monday. Yeah, Monday. So Thanksgiving's in a couple days. I've cleaned up the driveway. Back there is my road ends. So taking all the trees I don't need on that side and got it clear up to where the barn's going to be built. There's a fence. I'm finding fences everywhere. Hitting them, they get tangled up in the brush hog and everything else. Which is a real pain. That's why all the stumps are there, because I can't cut down low. But burning that little guy out. Wish I could get my big pile to burn that well, but it's still too wet. Got poison ivy again. Getting a little tired of pulling splinters from all these dang thorns out of my legs and arms and butt. In fact, I have one that hit me so hard that it is under my skin, and I'm probably going to have it cut out because it's literally, I mean, it's in there. It's in there. I have to have it cut out probably. Didn't hurt as bad as it did. Saw our deer a little bit ago. They're still hanging out. Well, getting there. Last couple days have been beautiful weather, and don't have enough time out here to get the foundation dug in or anything for our slab. I'm running out of time. There's a front coming through on Wednesday. Temperatures are going to drop. It's 70 right now. But temperatures are going to drop, and then we have a chance of snow and at least 3 days of rain. So that kind of kills any chance of doing that. But I've got to get my road done so I can get concrete trucks up here. So that's what I've been working on. Sorry. Tomorrow's going to be a good day, so I'll be able to bring in several loads of gravel and get the road up to where the barn's going to be, and then I can start digging out and start getting my bigger rock in, and then I'll be really close to getting the foundation started. Slow going, almost there.